Before we get to today's guest, I want to give you something because last week's episode brought in a comment that's been sitting with me and sets everything up that follows. A researcher named Christina Maslach spent decades studying burnout, and what she found, along with Susan Jackson and Michael Leiter, is that burnout doesn't happen because someone's weak or can't handle the pressure or needs more resilience. It happens when 6 specific conditions are present in the workplace. Doesn't matter how capable you are, no matter how much you love the work. If these 6 conditions are chronically present, burnout takes root. And they are workload, when the demands on you constantly outpace what's actually achievable. Control, when you're held responsible for outcomes you don't have the full authority to shape. Reward, when things that actually keep the organization running go unrecognized. Community, when the relationships around you don't feel supportive or connected. Fairness, when work, opportunity, or consequences aren't fully distributed evenly. And values, when what the organization says it cares about doesn't match how things actually get decided. I want you to notice something. Every single one of those are structural. Not one of them is a you need to get better coping skills item. So if this is the first time you're here, welcome. This is UnCeiling You, the show that high-achieving professionals tell the difference between the work that's actually building their careers and the work that's quietly burning them out. I'm Dr. Natalie Luke, and every week I bring you the research, the real stories, and the frameworks to make that call for yourself, starting now. I bring up the 6 conditions that, when they're chronically present, causes burnout because of a comment that came in last week. A woman said she had recently stopped carrying things that weren't hers. She told a story about a VP of sales looking at her resume and asked why she had no awards on it. Her answer? Maybe I don't, but the people I mentored, supported, and held the hand of through the hard seasons, they do. She said this because she's not someone who needs a cookie or an award, but that's exactly where the burnout came from. This isn't a new topic for the show. Nicole Johnston and I dug into this topic in the last episode. If you haven't heard that one, it's worth going back. Today is a little different. Today's guest is going to tell you something that might sound like the opposite of everything I just talked about. Renee Fleming is going to tell you how to show up, to build your brand, and to stop waiting for permission. To say, watch me. And she's right. I want that for you. I want you energized, visible, building things that are yours. But here's the distinction we're going to make live inside this conversation, because it's the difference between work that grows you and work that quietly empties you. Stepping up and stretching is not the same as absorbing what was never yours. One has your name on it, the other doesn't. By the end of this episode, you're going to have a 2-question test you can run on any yes before you say it. So you keep saying, watch me, without ever again finding out 6 months later that you are the only one watching. So as you listen to Renee today, and she is super incredible, you're going to want this on a Post-it on your own mirror, which kind of yes you're actually saying. Let's get into it. This is UnCeiling You. Hi, Renee. Thank you so much for joining us on the UnCeiling You podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. A pleasure.
Yeah, great. So most of my audience is not invisible because they're playing small. They're invisible because they carry too much, that background work that has to get done. And they're the ones that are really the Band-Aid holding it all together. So where does personal branding actually help and where does it become just another thing that a high performing woman must own?
Love that. So personal branding is absolutely, positively my wheelhouse. I am screaming it from the rooftop. Especially, I want everyone to really think about AI and the impact of AI. So when I talk about personal branding, some people check out because they go, I'm not an entrepreneur. I work a job. I don't need to do personal branding. But with AI taking over some jobs, right? And also with layoffs that we're seeing throughout the country and throughout the world, personal branding has become more important than ever. And I feel that way because a lot of companies are going to start looking at, if they haven't already, and I know a lot of them have, look at what people, how they show up, how they position themselves. Are they an expert in their field? What does their brand look like online? Because many companies are going to go to that hybrid, transactional, fractured positioning where an employee may have an opportunity to work with several companies on an interim basis, on a contractual basis. And I think that all of that is so important. If you don't have a personal brand, a foundation, you're going to miss out on those opportunities.
So in your case, a personal brand is not only how you're perceived when you show up, but also how you're perceived online.
1000%. Because a lot of employees and a lot of clients, so both whether you're in business for yourself or you work for somebody else, people will check out your profile.
Mhm.
And they may stop following you. You may not know that they're following you, but they're looking at you. And how you show up and your personality, how you make other people feel, all of that is part of your personal brand. So I really strongly suggest if somebody's like, I don't know what that is, or I have so many clients that come to me and go, I'm not really on social. I don't know what to post. I don't like social media. And I get that. But like it or not, it's here. Like there's plenty of things that we don't like that we have to. I didn't like peas when I was a kid, but I had to eat them, right? So there are certain things that you may not be comfortable with, but the more you embrace this new era, the more satisfied you're going to be because it gives you that freedom of possibility, the freedom of opportunity. It's personal brand online and in person. I mean, everyone needs it.
So I do a lot on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And I also reach out to other people that are on LinkedIn. And it's really interesting. The thing that I've observed, I work in the STEM field. I am at a diagnostic company. I'm a strategic expert in the diagnostic industry. And I love to interact with other people within the STEM field. So I actively go out and look for people to interact with, to network with. And the first thing I'll do is do like the hunt for other people, women that are in the STEM fields by their job title. And then I'll look at their activity to see whether or not they've been active in the last 6 months, 3 months, 1 month at all. And I'm amazed at how often people are not, and I'm paying attention mostly to LinkedIn because that's where I'm at.
Absolutely.
I am amazed at how much people don't interact.
Well, and
What would you say to those women who are like leaving that on the table per se?
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. They're leaving opportunity out on the table because we tend to get comfortable. And we were taught very early on, right? You go to school, you get a job, you work at that job. And then when you change, you go to the next job and all of that. And those opportunities will find you or you'll find them. In today's era, social media is absolutely such an important aspect of everything that we do. Even if you don't want to be and posting all the time on LinkedIn. I completely understand that. But positioning yourself as an expert, that's why we use LinkedIn. So I always challenge clients who only want to use LinkedIn to think about what type of content pillars that they want to discuss, that they can discuss, that is in their wheelhouse, that they can just talk about all the time, and create some content where you're sharing some information, some tips, tools, strategies about your role, about your position, about your knowledge, because that's what's going to position you as the expert more than just here's your profile on LinkedIn, yawn, right? Everyone's got a profile. Okay. But if you're not showing up and sharing who you are, your authentic self and your knowledge with that personality, you're really missing the boat. And you may be missing that next opportunity because companies, brands are looking for who's going to best represent me, the company, right? And that screams your personality can scream out more than your expertise. It's all about visibility because not necessarily we've all been in jobs, positions and career and whether it's entrepreneur or working where not the smartest person is the one that gets the job
Yeah.
or not the smartest person that's there. And sometimes people are like, how the hell did that happen?
It's annoying.
Right? They position themselves as the expert. So that's why I truly, in every fiber of my being, know that everyone needs a strong personal brand. And you need a personal brand statement. You need that one statement that tells people who you are, how you serve, and it's infused in your delivery.
Yes. So I could see where people are thinking, well, I don't know what's really special about me. Or they're thinking, I have got so much other things that I got to do where this gets drowned out. What should that corporate leader stop doing today if they want to be seen differently or adding value to organizations?
Well, think about what it will cost you if you don't. That's the biggest thing, right? And you want to look at IPAs, income producing activities. If it's not producing your outcome, it's time to pivot. It's time to change and it's time to do something different. Few are willing to do that. I know it's hard, and especially if it's something that someone's not comfortable with. And that's what I work with clients on. I even have like a 1-hour clarity intensive. A lot of women really like to start there because it brings that clarity. What do they want to focus on? What is their niche? How would they show up? And then from there are, of course, other opportunities and trainings that I have to help people. But it's really important to get crystal clear on who you are, how you serve, what you serve, and figuring out this brand. No matter what, we all have stuff going on in our lives, right? We have to prioritize. And especially as busy women, moms, we juggle so many things. We tend to put ourselves back, right? Because we're working on everything else. And so, like you said, like, how do you do that? Well, it's asking yourself, how can you not do that? How can you not spend that time to really help you advance in your career, in your life, in your entrepreneurial journey, whatever that is?
The thing that I would like to add to what you're saying is that often, when we work in a corporation, we're working in a system,
Right.
the overall system, and the overall system may be rewarding us for certain behaviors, maybe carrying the emotional baggage, if you will, the emotional intensity of a specific outcome that maybe isn't really your responsibility. And I think by what you said, by getting crystal clear about what it is that you're about and where you're driving yourself to, allows you to leave that emotional baggage behind.
Yes. Yes. You really need to have that super uber focus as to who you are, what you do, why you're doing it. Leave
Yeah.
it behind.
So you talk about reinvention as a power because, like, when you're becoming crystal clear about who you are and who you're not and what you don't serve and what you do serve, they may say, well, that sounds great, but I can't. They may be feeling like, I've got too much to do. What does reinvention really look like when you feel like you can't walk away and do this very important introspective work?
Can't is a 4-letter word that I do not subscribe to. That's number one. I subscribe to the other 4-letter word. But, when someone says they can't, what they're saying is they won't, right? There's the can, the can't, the will, and the do. You can change that narrative when you go, instead of I can't, I'm not willing to. I haven't learned this yet, right? But everyone can. Everything is figure outable. Our schedules are figure outable. Information is figure outable. Education is figure outable. You can figure out a way. If it all comes back to your why. Do you truly want to embrace a new era? Do you truly want to grow and perhaps change your circumstance? So many women, and I know I reinvented myself after the age of 40. And I feel like since then, my business has really grown once I truly embraced who I was, authentically, who I'm serving, how I can help people. Oftentimes, when we're thinking about reinvention, right, we think about this huge change in our lives. And it really doesn't have to be that. It's little baby steps. And as you take those steps, you never know where it's going to go. I mean, I started out in network marketing because of a divorce, not knowing if I can build a business, built a multi-million-dollar sales organization. That led me to coaching. I mean, I was a sponsor of the Miss America organization. I did so many things, and so many women, especially my wheelhouse is women. Granted, I work with men, but I'm passionate about helping women build, I call it their effort fund, their $100,000 effort fund. I never want women to feel like they don't have options. So reinvention is part of that opportunity to create multiple streams of income. And if somebody is saying that they can't, they're really saying, I'm afraid to.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Are you a leader who wants more wins in your business? Listen to the award-winning Executive Wins podcast, where senior leaders share their biggest wins so that you can get inspired and grow your business. Wins include scaling multi-million-dollar businesses, thriving after bankruptcy, gaining clarity in an ambulance, and more. In every episode, host Gordon Shepherd explores the anatomy of a win, so you can learn the strategy, work plan, people, operations, and results behind every win you hear on the show. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or visit executivewins.com/podcast to learn more.
And fear is the big thing that holds a lot of women back, right? Like, what will somebody think if I change? What are they going to think if I show up online? Who do I think I am, right? And I know we've all been there. I've been guilty of that too. And once I finally embrace going, you know what? I am who I am. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. That's okay. I like coffee. It's all good, right? Once I embrace that, I have a badass queen. I swear, this is who I am. I want women to feel like they are so empowered that they can do any freaking thing that they want. I am 56 years of age, and I feel like I am just getting started. There are so many paths that I am going down because I embraced who I was and built a business that I just freaking love doing.
There you go. I know for me, I was also afraid to do posts online because what if my organization saw, because I'm doing two things at one time. And I finally had a frank discussion with my boss, and he's like, I don't care what you do on your own time. And I was like, why was I so worried about it for a year, for at least a year? That was crazy.
Right. I mean, certainly, you want to put into perspective when you have other responsibilities and other eyes on you, what path you're doing, right? So I wouldn't work for the Catholic Church and swear like I do. So I know my lane. So everyone just know your lane, right? But certainly embracing what's wonderful about this life is the fact is we only get one shot at it.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be that person that is aged out and going, I wish I coulda, shoulda, woulda. Instead, I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to try it. If I fail, I fail. What's the worst thing that's going to happen?
Yep. You're going to learn.
I'm going to learn. I'm going to grow. I'm going to pivot. And that part of that is why I wrote my first book, Unapologetically Badass, and it's F the Rules, Wear the Crown. But that I shared some of my ish that I've gone through in my life, because we all go through. We can't go through this world unscathed, right? So going through the ish in my life really made me learn, figure out, how do I grow from this? How do I adapt? And it all, created the person and the vision that I have now. But I shared the ish, not because anyone was like, Renee, please tell me your life story, right?
Mhm.
But I shared it because we know that stories connect.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, especially on social media, people see the great, they see the flash, they see the pop. They see, right, all the accolades, and it looks so good on social. It's not all good. We
Yeah.
all go through this, right? So
Yeah.
when I started to share authentically some of that women were connecting with it. Like they could see themselves. And I'm like, if one woman sees and they go, gosh, well, Renee went through this, I can certainly get through this,
Yeah.
or see themselves in my journey, then I was like, this is great. But yeah, it's really important to share.
Yeah. I have to agree with you because when I hear women that I really respect say, oh, yeah, I showed up at the nail salon and I went off on the nail person, the person doing my nails. I'm like, holy cow,
Yeah.
you're human.
Right. And that's the thing. We're like, oh, this person I looked up to, she's human.
Yeah.
And then you go, all right, I'm human too. And some
Yeah.
of that, right? So a funny story, again, sponsoring Miss America, right? I'm like, my gosh, I'm with the CEO of the Miss America organization, and she knows me. And then I'm meeting celebrities and they're knowing my name. And I'm going, who am I? Right? But then you start talking to them and it's like, we're all the same. We all go through stuff. We're all people. We're all human. And once you just go, yeah, this is great. Sharing stories, connecting with others. It's so wonderful. And I can't stress enough how opportunist it is for all of us to be authentic and build our brand and build our presence and build our visibility.
Based on that.
Yeah.
So one of the things you talk about, especially in coaching with women, is that they need to stop playing small. But what I see are sometimes a little bit different is that you have these high performers and they aren't playing small. They are stepping up, but they're also, as a result of stepping up, becoming overextended, overwhelmed, over-relied on, and structurally they're trapped because they're like, now I got to do all these things. In your mind, what does playing small actually look like at the director level or the VP level where someone looks like they're successful on the outside, but they're kind of feeling trapped?
That's a total misalignment. Right? So if you're misaligned, you might show up and you're doing all the stuff, but you're going to burn yourself out. I mean, I really try to empower and inspire women to really take a look at that. And if it's too much, then this is not working for you because we need to be 1000% thrilled. I really despise hearing is it the Sunday scare or the Monday scare? Like when it's Sunday night and everyone's like, I can go to work tomorrow. And me, I'm like, I get to go to work tomorrow. This, right? So if you don't have that balance and that fire and passion of loving what you do, it's time to look at, self-reflect and figure out what the next step should be for you.
Renee said something I want to underline because people skip right past it. If you don't have that fire and that passion, it's time to self-reflect. A lot of leadership advice treats build something on the side as automatically good, another stream, another hustle, another thing to add to the plate. But more isn't the goal. The right kind of more is the goal. My very first guest on the show was Jennifer Pesticus, senior leader in financial services. And when we talked, she was honest about something most people won't say out loud. She was burned out, not stretched, not busy, burned out in her actual job. And then she started a podcast on the side and she wrote a book. Both are called Brave Women at Work. She kept her full-time role the entire time. She didn't quit anything, didn't blow up her life. But that other thing, the thing nobody assigned to her, the thing with her name on it, was the thing she chose. It didn't drain her. It fueled her. It gave her back energy that her job had been quietly taking. That's the test. Not, is this extra? Because almost everything extra feels like a lot when you're already carrying too much. The test is this. Does this thing give you energy back? Or does it just take more? unclaimed load, the trust tax, always nets negative, even when you're good at it, even when people thank you for it. Claimed work that's actually yours can net positive, even when it's hard, even when it's exhausting in the moment, because it's building towards something with your name already on it. So if you're sitting here thinking about your own side thing, whatever it is, ask yourself what Jennifer could have answered easily. When I'm doing this, am I more me or less? If the honest answer is energized, and you're likely not the person this show needs to worry about today. If the answer is depleted, even by something that looks like an opportunity, that's worth naming before you add one more thing to your plate. Yeah, so that's a drop the mic moment right there.
Boom.
Boom. So a lot of, just taking a look at, okay, what is the next step for me? If I'm not excited about going to work on Monday, it's feeling like it's too much. One avenue is to potentially build multiple streams of income, but at the same time, they may be feeling like they're maxed out. How do you go about building the additional income without reinforcing that exact burnout pattern that we were just talking about?
Yes. So again, it comes down to your why, right? Comes down to whether or not you truly want to build something else. And in this day and age, you don't even need just a plan B. You need A, B, C, D, E, F, and freaking G. You need it all, right? You never know what's going to turn around and slap you upside the head. So I am very passionate about multiple streams of income, but you can't just go out there and go, okay, I work 80 hours a week. I'm going to now do 5 other things. You can't do, right? You got to start, you have to build a foundation. It's like a house. You can't have house and walls unless you have the foundation. So the foundation is your brand, is your personal brand. And from there, okay, you might have your full-time income and that you're doing that. And then you're going, okay, what else can I do? Is this going to be an entrepreneurial journey? And if so, what does that look like? Is that developing products myself? Is it developing, digital products? Is it creating a brand? Whatever that is. Is it real estate? Is it, looking at all of the different opportunities out there is really important once you figure out what exactly you want from this, right? So I knew early on that I wanted to build on the coaching. And from there, that layered into me trademarking both Badass Queen and Sparkle Queen. And that led into more digital products and trainings and, online courses and coaching and unapologetically badass podcast and unapologetically badass icon on Roku and merchandise and clothing. And now that's going to go into Badass Queen wine. I don't know if you see the wine back there, but eventually we're working on that. We're working on all of these different IP options. And again, it's all layered because I built a foundation
of who you are, what you stand for, and that whole trademark.
It's women want to my statement is I unapologetically inspire moms over 40 to look and feel like $1 million freaking bucks, their $100,000 effort fund, and unleash their inner badass queen.
Yay.
That is the foundation. That's a core of everything that I do.
Yes. And so one of the things that you also say is watch me. And that's like a great phrase that you use and is powerful. My audience, the folks that I'm talking to, don't necessarily lack confidence, but they do lack the clarity on what is actually theirs. So what does watch me look like when it's grounded in reality and that crystallization?
Yeah. So watch me came from when I started building my entrepreneurial journey after the age of 40. My people around me, I won't mention any people around me, discounted me and I know did not think I could succeed, especially post-divorce, right, on my own. And I had this, watch me. I wrote watch me and put it on Post-it notes all over my office. And I just had that, like, you don't think I can? Watch me. You don't think I can sponsor Miss America? Watch me. You don't think I can travel the world? Watch me. So I've always had that, spiteful, I guess, Italian, Portuguese attitude. But I wanted to prove to myself that I could. And watch me really became like my business acronym, right? This is who I am. It's It's withdraw from explanation. A is act before approval. T is take up space publicly. C is to commit without consensus. And H is hold the space when no one else does.
I love that framework.
Thank you. So that's what I share with everyone is watch me. No matter your job, no matter your clarity, your lack thereof, it is watch me. And if somebody is like, I don't know I need to get clear on my vision and my purpose and my niche, that's what I do. I help guide them through that journey to discover what that is. Yeah. Watch me.
Okay, I want to pause right here because watch me is one of the best 4-word reframes I've heard on this show. But I don't want you to hear it and think the lesson is just say yes more, raise your hand more, take up more space. Because if that's what you take from this, you might walk away and do exactly the thing that put you in this position in the first place. Here's how to tell the difference. Strategic stretch work, the kind Renee is talking about, is claimed. It has your name on it. Your manager knows you're doing it and knows why, because there's an actual conversation about where it's headed. And it's not an endpoint, but a specific point where it either turns into something real, like a title, a raise, a permanent part of your role, or you stop doing it because it didn't. The trust tax, the thing I talk about on the show, is unclaimed. Nobody assigned it. Nobody's tracking it. There was never a conversation about where it leads or where it ends. It just continues indefinitely. And here's what makes it so hard to catch. The behavior looks identical from the outside. Saying yes, stepping in, you cannot tell claimed from unclaimed by watching someone's calendar. So before your next time watch me moment, ask yourself 2 things. Does this have my name on it? Or does someone above me actually know I'm doing it and why? And is there a point where it either becomes something or I stop? If you can't answer those questions, you may be paying a tax instead of making an investment. The Trust Tax Diagnostic will give you an actual number for it, your load score, your stage, in 5 minutes. Link in the show notes. The one that really speaks to me is the C, operate without consensus. Not everybody's going to agree, and everybody has a belly button, and belly buttons are the same as an opinion, so
we know what those are. And the thing is, typically we're asking the wrong people, right? I'm an entrepreneur with these dreams and I'm doing this and and a lot of people are like, what the hell is she doing? Who does she think she is? If I ask my family who are not entrepreneurial at all, I grew up with the go to school, you go to work, you pay your bills, and you die a slow death in that job. So my vision of, I'm going to build a multi-million-dollar and I'm going to do this and I'm going to travel, like that is not. So if I ask them, hey, what do you think about me partnering with the vineyard and creating Badass Queen wine? They're going to think I've lost my rocker.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do what lights me up and what I know that he has put me on a path to do, right? I feel it. And when you feel like you're on that path, it's like, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to ask anyone's opinion or I'm going to do it. Now, granted, you might ask, you might need support and help in learning how to do certain things. And that's why, you do the education and the coaching and surround yourself with people that you can connect with, LinkedIn, those that, know more than you. I don't know everything, but I know that I have a passion for a lot of stuff.
So the person that's listening to this podcast, they feel like they're in a system that doesn't support them. We heard some ideas as to, do you really need a system to support you? Well, you do. You can go out and find the coaching and that sort of thing. You just need a different system.
Mm-hmm.
What would they do? They say, okay, I'm all in. What would they do differently tomorrow morning to decide to step into that new version of themselves?
Is to really, I always suggest to reflect. Like reflect, what do you want your life to look like a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever that is? What could you talk about doing that lights you up, that you're like, I love this? If I was not even getting paid, somebody is just like, hey, you're the go-to. Whether it's cooking, it's gardening, like whatever it could be, right? It could be mathematics. It could be whatever is like your wheelhouse that you love to speak about. Think about, okay, I could probably monetize this. And if you're thinking, I don't know how I do that, everybody can monetize something. Everybody can. But I love sharing. Once you determine, one thing I'm going to add is once you determine or think about, reflect, what is it that you want? And then you get the clarity and you're crystal clear and you know what it is you want. One thing that I love to share is a miracle morning. You familiar with miracle morning?
Yes, I haven't done it myself, but I've had guests on that talk about that.
I cannot speak enough about my miracle morning. So without going into great detail about a miracle morning, but some people do it at night. I like my morning time. But I wake up every day and I thank God for three things. I wake up with a sense of gratitude for everything, but I'm very specific in what I share, grateful for three specific things. I also present my ask, right? What is it that I want out of the day, the week, whatever that is? One aspect, and then, there's stretching, there's meditation, there's listening to positive, words and videos and all of that you can do. But part of my miracle morning is I recorded my future self, my future life script. So most everyone has, whether it's a vision board, it's a goal, it's what they want their life to look like, whatever. I wrote everything down of what I want to accomplish within the next 12 months, how I want my life to look, how I'm living, how I'm traveling, how I'm spending my time, all of it. And I really sat with that and looked at and going, okay, if I want to be at the beach, I was smelling the beach and everything just became so sensory. So after I wrote that down, I took my phone and I voice memo. I recorded myself as if I've already achieved it. So, I get to work some amount of day. I get to meet these amount of clients. This is how I'm spending my time. I'm balancing. I'm going to see my daughter up in Boston. All of the things that I am wanting my life to look like, I recorded it like it's already done. This is how I get to live. And I recorded it with that sense of accomplishment and gratitude and excitement that I get to do this. And I listen to that every morning as I'm having my coffee, because no matter what, we don't always get out of bed and going I am a badass. I'm going to conquer the world today. There are plenty of times where we're life happens and we just want to crawl in bed and not get up and not deal with anything. But when I listen to that life script, I am my gosh, I am so powerful. This is so exciting. And it reminds me, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I really suggest everyone, once you figure out your niche or what you want your life to look like, record it, listen to it, because all of this is connected. And when you start hearing it, your body believes it, your brain believes it, and you start moving into action. Even if you don't know exactly what you want it to be, start with something, right? How you want to live your life, the travel you want to do, whether you get married, whatever that looks like for you. But I highly suggest that because it is such a powerful tool.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. And also thank you so much for being on the UnCeiling You podcast. We'll have links to your website and the things that you deliver in the show notes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Alrighty, now that's the episode. Renee gave us Watch Me, and I want you to keep it, use it, put it on your mirror. Just make sure when you say it, you know what you're claiming, because the goal was never to do less. The goal is to make sure what you're carrying has your name on it, has an endpoint, is actually building the life you've described in that miracle morning recording of yours. If you want to know which one you're actually doing right now, claimed stretch or unclaimed trust tax, the diagnostic gives you your load score and tells you exactly which stage you're in. Takes 5 minutes, results immediate, because you're not the problem. The routing is. The link is in the show notes. And if today helped you see your own work a little differently, follow the show wherever you're listening so the next episode finds you instead of the other way around. I'm Dr. Natalie Luke. This is UnCeiling You. Go build that thing that's actually yours.